This play is sponsored by the California Civil Liberties Public Education Program, a state-funded grant project of the California State Library.
Now, LA Theatre Works continues our production of Master Harold and the Boys by Athol Fugard.
Tell him about when they give out the cups, Sportson.
Oh, yeah. That's another big moment. The presentation of the cups after the winners have been announced. You've got to put that in.
A big silver one, Master Hally, called Floating Trophy for the Champions.
We always invite some big-shot personality to hand them over. Guest of honor this year is going to be His Holiness Bishop Jubalani of the All-African Free Zionist Church.
To hell with the composition. So much for a bloody world without collisions.
Too bad, Hally. It was on its way to being a good composition.
Let's stop bullshitting ourselves, Sim.
Have we been doing that?
Yes. That's what all our talk about a decent world has been. Just so much bullshit.
We did say it was still only a dream.
And a bloody useless one at that. Life's a fuck-up and it's never going to change.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
There's no maybe about it. It's a blunt and brutal fact. All we've done this afternoon is waste our time.
Not if we got your homework done.
I don't give a shit about my homework, so for Christ's sake, just shut up about it. Hurry up now and finish your work. I want to lock up and get out of here. And then go where? Home, sweet fucking home. Jesus, I hate that word. Shit, Dad's brandy. Do you want to know what is really wrong with your lovely little dream, Sem? It's not just that we're all bed dancers. That does happen to be perfectly true, but there's more to it than just that. You left out the cripples.
Hally.
Yeah. Can't leave them out, Sem. That's why we always end up on our backsides on the dance floor. They're also out there, dancing. Like a bunch of broken spiders trying to do the quick step. When you come to think of it, it's a bloody comical sight. I mean, it's bad enough on 2 legs, but 1 and a pair of crutches? Hell no, Sem! That's guaranteed to turn the dance floor into a shambles. Why are you shaking your head? Picture it, men. For once this afternoon, let's use our imagination sensibly.
Be careful, Hally.
Of what? The truth? I seem to be the only one around here who's prepared to face it. We've had the pretty dream. It's time now to wake up and have a good long look at the way things really are. Nobody knows the steps. There's no music. The cripples are also out there tripping up everybody and trying to get into the act. And it's all called the All-Comers How to Make a Fuck-Up of Life Championships. Hang on, Sam. The best bit is still coming. Do you know what the winner's trophy is? A beautiful, big chamber pot with roses on the side, and it's full to the brim with piss. And guess who I think is going to be this year's winner?
Stop now.
Why?
Hally, it's your father you're talking about.
So?
Do you know what you've been saying? No, Hally. You mustn't do it. Take back those words and ask for forgiveness. It's a terrible sin for a son to mock his father with jokes like that. You'll be punished if you carry on. Your father is your father, even if he is a crippled man.
Yes, Master Hally. Is true what Sam say.
I understand how you are feeling, Hally, but even so...
No, you don't.
I think I do.
And I'm telling you, you don't. Nobody does. It's your turn to be careful, Sam. Very careful. You're treading on dangerous ground. Leave me and my father alone.
I'm not the one who's been saying things about him.
What goes on between me and my dead is none of your business.
Then don't tell me about it. If that's all you've got to say about him, I don't want to hear.
Just get on with your bloody work and shut up.
Swearing at me won't help you.
Yes, it does. Mind your own fucking business and shut up.
Okay. If that's the way you want it, I'll stop trying.
Good. Because what you've been trying to do is meddle in something you know nothing about. All that concerns you in here, Sem, is to try and do what you get paid for. Keep the place clean and serve the customers. In plain words, just get on with your job. My mother is right. She's always warning me about allowing you to get too familiar. Well, this time you've gone too far. It's going to stop right now. You're only a servant in here, and don't forget it. And as far as my father is concerned, all you need to remember is that he is your boss.
No, he isn't. I get paid by your mother.
Don't argue with me, Sem.
Then don't say he's my boss.
He's a white man, and that's good enough for you.
I'll try to forget you said that.
Don't. Because you won't be doing me a favor if you do. I'm telling you to remember it.
Hally? Hally, come on now. Let's stop before it's too late. You're right. We are on dangerous ground. And if we're not careful, somebody's going to get hurt.
It won't be me.
Don't be so sure.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sem.
Yes, you do.
Jesus, I wish you would stop trying to tell me what I do and what I don't know.
Willie, let's finish up.
Don't turn your back on me. I haven't finished talking.
Don't put your hands on me, Hally. All right, I'm listening. Well? What do you want to say to me?
To begin with, why don't you also start calling me Master Herald? Like Willie.
Do you mean that?
Why the hell do you think I said it?
And if I don't?
You might just lose your job.
If you make me say it once, I'll never call you anything else again.
So, is that meant to be a threat?
Just telling you what will happen if you make me do that. You must decide what it means to you.
Well, I have. It's good news because that is exactly what Master Herald wants from now on. Think of it as a little lesson in respect, Sem, that's long overdue, and I hope you remember it as well as you do your geography. I can tell you now that somebody who will be glad to hear I've finally given it to you will be my dad. Yes, he agrees with my mum. He's always going on about it as well. You must teach the boys to show you more respect, my son.
So now you can stop complaining about going home. Everybody is going to be happy tonight.
Yeah, that's perfectly correct. You see, you mustn't get the wrong idea about me and my dad, Sim. We also have our good times together, some bloody good laughs. He's got a marvelous sense of humor. Want to know what our favorite joke is? He gives out a big groan, you see, and says, "Oh, it's not fair, is it, Hally?" Then I have to ask, "What, chum?" And he says, "A nigger's ass." We both have a good laugh. What's the matter, Willie? Don't you catch the joke? You always were a bit slow on the uptake. It's what is called a pun. You see, fair means both light in color and to be just and decent. I thought you would catch it, Sim.
Oh, yeah. I catch it all right.
But it doesn't appeal to your sense of humor.
Do you really laugh?
Of course.
To please him? Make him feel good?
No, for heaven's sake. I laugh because I think it's a bloody good joke.
You're really trying hard to be ugly tonight, aren't you? But why drag poor Willie into it? He's done nothing to you except show you the respect you want so badly. That's also not being fair, you know. And I mean just or decent.
It's all right, Sam. Leave it now.
It's me he's after. You should have said Sam's arse. Because that's the one you're trying to kick. Anyway, how do you know it's not fair? You've never seen it. You want to? Have a good look. A real Basutu arse, which is about as nigger as you can come. Satisfied? Now you can make your dad even happier when you go home tonight. Tell him I showed you my ass. And he is quite right. It's not fair. And if we will give him an even better laugh next time, I'll also let him have a look. Come, Willie, let's finish up and go.
Sam.
Sam!
It's all right, Willie. Yeah, well, you've done it, Master Harold. Yes, I'll start calling you that from now on. It won't be difficult anymore. You've hurt yourself, Master Harold. I saw it coming. I warned you. But you wouldn't listen. You've just hurt yourself bad. And you're a coward, Master Harold. The face you should be spitting in is your father's. But you used mine because you think you're safe inside your fair skin. And this time, I don't mean just or decent. Should I hit him with it?
No, Boatswain!
And why not?
It won't help, Boatswain.
Yeah, well, I don't want to help. I want to hurt him.
You also hurt yourself.
And if he did it to you? Huh?
Me? Spit at me like I was a dog. And yeah, I want to hit him. I want to hit him hard. But maybe all I do is go cry at the back. He's a little boy, poor Sam. A little white boy. Long trousers now, but still little boy.
You're right. So go on then. Groan again, Willie. You do it better than me. You don't know all of what you've just done, Master Harold. It's not just that you've made me feel dirtier than I have ever been in my life. I mean, how do I wash off yours and your father's filth? I've also failed. A long time ago, I promised myself I was going to try to do something. But you've just shown me, Master Harold, that I have failed. I've also got a memory of a little white boy when he was still wearing short trousers and a black man. But they're not flying a kite. It was the old Jubilee days after dinner one night. I was in my room. You came in and just stood against the wall, looking down at the ground. And only after I asked you what you wanted, what was wrong, I don't know how many times, did you speak. And even then, so softly, I almost didn't hear you. Sam, please help me to go and fetch my dad. Remember? He was dead drunk on the floor of the Central Hotel bar. They phoned for your mom, but you were the only one at home. And do you remember how we did it? You went in first by yourself to ask for permission for me to come into the bar. Then I loaded him onto my back like a baby and carried him back to the boarding house with you following behind, carrying his crutches. A crowded main street with all the people watching, a little white boy following his drunk father on a nigger's back. I felt for that little boy. Master Harold. I felt for him. After that, we still had to clean him up. Remember? He messed in his trousers. So we had to clean him up and get him into bed.
Sam, I love him.
I know you do. That's why I tried to stop you from saying these things about him. It would have been so simple if you could have just despised him for being a weak man. But he's your father. You love him. And you're ashamed of him. You're ashamed of so much. And now, that's going to include yourself. That was the promise I made to myself, to try to stop that happening. After we got him to bed, you came back with me to my room and sat in the corner and carried on, just looking down at the ground. And for days after that, you hadn't done anything wrong. But you went around as if you owed the world an apology for being alive. I didn't like seeing that. That's not the way a boy grows up to be a man. But the one person who should have been teaching you what that means was the cause of your shame. If you really want to know. That's why I made you that kite. I wanted you to look up, be proud of something, of yourself. And you certainly were that. When I left you with it up there on that hill, oh yeah, something else. If you ever do write it as a short story, there was a twist in our ending. I couldn't sit there and stay with you. It was a whites-only bench. You were too young and too excited to notice then, but not anymore. If you're not careful, Master Harold, you're going to be sitting up there by yourself for a long time. And there won't be a kite in the sky.
Is bad. Is all bad in here now.
Willie, will you lock up for me and look after the keys?
Okay.
Don't forget the comic books. Hally, stop. Hally. I've got no right to tell you what being a man means if I don't behave like one myself. And I'm not doing so well at that this afternoon. Should we try again?
Try what?
Fly another kite, I suppose. It worked once, and this time I need it as much as you do.
It's still raining, Sim. You can't fly kites on rainy days, remember?
So what do we do? Hope for better weather tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
You sure of that, Hally? Because it would be pretty hopeless if that was true. It would mean nothing has been learnt in here this afternoon. And there was a hell of a lot of teaching going on, one way or the other. But anyway, I don't believe you. I reckon there's one thing you know. You don't have to sit up there by yourself. You know what that bench means now. And you can leave it anytime you choose. All you've got to do is stand up and walk away from it. Hally.
is okay, Boatswain. You see, is going to be okay tomorrow. Hey, Boatswain, you're right. I think about it, and you're right. Tonight, I find Hilda and say sorry, and make promise I won't beat her no more. You hear me, Boatswain?
I hear you, Willie.
And when we practice, I relax and romance with her from beginning to end, non-stop. You watch, in 2 weeks' time, first prize for promising newcomers, Mr. Willie Malopo and Miss Hilda Samuels. To hell with it. I walk home. How do you say it, Boatswain? Let's dream.
Little man, you're crying. I know why you're blue. Someone took your kitty car away.
You lead, I follow.
Go to sleep now. Little man, you've had a busy day. Johnny won your marbles. Tell you what we'll do. That'll get you new ones right away. Better go to sleep now, little man. You've had a busy day.
Master Harold and the Boys starred Leon Addison Brown as Willie, Keith David as Sam, and Bobby Steggert as Hally. Stage manager John Lovick. Recording, editing, and mixing engineers David Kelly and Mark Holden for VoiceBox Studios. Our director is Stuart K. Robinson. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theater Works.
This play is sponsored by the California Civil Liberties Public Education Program, a state-funded grant project of the California State Library.